In project management, best practices dictate a very specific series of process groups that should be performed. These are referred to as initiating processes, planning processes, executing processes, controlling processes, and the last one is closing processes. These are referred as process groups by PMI because each one contains specific processes that should be performed. The question you might ask is, what problems are we trying to solve by having five discrete process groups? The answer is that these processes give us an organizational background to successfully planning, executing, and managing a well run project. Let's understand a little bit about each one of these. Initiating processes recognize a project or phase should begin. According to PMI, initiating helps to set the vision of what is to be accomplished. This is where the project is formally authorized by the sponsor, initial scope is defined, and the stakeholders are identified. Stakeholder identification is crucial here because correct identification, and later we'll see how to manage the stakeholders, is literally can make or break the project. These processes are performed so that projects and programs are not only sanctioned by a sponsoring entity but also um, by the people with whose the projects are strategically aligned. So in order to meet the overall objectives of the organization. Second stage is called planning. A crucial element of planning is establishing the total scope of the project. In planning, the project manager uses an iterative and more detailed planning technique called progressive elaboration, which allows project documents to be developed at a much more detailed level over time. In PMBOK Guide, PMI defines 24 discrete processes that are involved in planning, while a project team can decide which of these to choose for a given project. But the message from this group is clear: fail to plan, that means planning to fail. Executing processes. The executing processes group is where the work is actually done. Here is where the project team starts doing the work of creating the deliverables while the project manager coordinates those resources working on executing. The next one is controlling. Monitoring and controlling processes group is where the project manager assesses the overall performance of the project and makes necessary changes to keep it on track or to get back on track if deviates from the original plan. Where you compare plan to actual, you measure variance and take corrective action. The last one is called closing processes. From its name, it should be pretty obvious what it means here. Not only do you formally close the project, but you also get sign off and acceptance from the customer.